The Zoroth Dominion had ruled their corner of the galaxy for over 900 years. They were powerful, cruel, and feared. No planet in their reach dared to resist. Their warships could burn entire cities in seconds. Their armies could crush planets. In days, the Zoroth believed the strongest species in the universe. They were wrong. It started with a signal. A weak one. A single human voice floating through deep space. It said only 2 words. We're coming. The Zoroth Command Center received it during a routine patrol scan. The signal came from a far-off sector, near the edge of explored space sector. 94G, an unimportant and quiet area. It was supposed to be empty. But the signal was clear. The voice was calm, confident, and human. The Zoroth were confused. The humans had always stayed silent. They were a strange species, quiet, slow to expand, and never involved in galactic politics. Their planet, Earth, had a small defense force, no colonies, no war records, no known fleets. So why were they sending a message now? And why just 2 words, we're coming? The Zoroth High Council laughed. They thought it was a joke. Maybe a pirate broadcast. Maybe a trick. But then something strange happened. The Zoroth scanning ships tried to trace the source of the message. Their systems began to glitch. One of the long-range sensor drones shut down completely. No virus. No attack, it just died. The message kept repeating. We're coming. The Zoroth grew nervous. The High General Varkal called an emergency meeting. Our systems are failing. This is not normal, he said, looking at the other council members. We don't know how they're doing this, but we must prepare. The Zoroth began to mobilize. They sent 50 warships to Sector 94G. Each ship was armed with plasma cannons, shield walls, and gravity warheads. It was enough to destroy a small civilization. Still, they saw nothing. No fleet, no fighters, not even a satellite. Then one of the warships, Zvorok, picked up something. A single object was moving slowly through space. No drive signature. No visible weapons. It looked like a small ship. Dark gray, smooth, and silent. No windows. No lights. It was heading straight for Zoroth space. The crew of the Vorok zoomed in. The object had no markings. It wasn't broadcasting any ID. It moved at a steady pace, not slowing, not speeding up. The commander of the Vorok, Captain Luran, laughed. Is this the we that was coming? He asked. Just one ship? The other officers joined in the laughter. One ship against the Zoroth Dominion? It was a joke. Still, they followed protocol. The Vorok moved in to scan the object. It got within 1,000 kilometers and launched a probe. Probe got close. Too close. And then nothing. The probe vanished. No explosion. No signal. Just silence. Captain Luran frowned. What happened? Another officer spoke. The probe is gone. No data. No trace. It's like it never existed. Luran ordered the ship to move back. But before they could turn, the lights flickered. The engines coughed. Every screen on the bridge went black for 1 second. Then everything came back. Except they couldn't see the object anymore. It was gone. Captain Luran's last words were, where did it? The Zvorok disappeared. No explosion. No debris. Just gone. The Zoroth lost all contact with the ship. The High Council panicked. They sent more ships, bigger ones, war cruisers, battle dreadnoughts. The object reappeared, still the same, small, quiet, slow. But now the Zoroth took it seriously. A battle group of 7 ships formed a line. They aimed all weapons at the strange object. The lead cruiser fired a warning shot. The energy bolt reached the object and passed straight through it. No damage. No effect. The object did not stop. It moved straight ahead through the line of ships. And as it passed, the ships began to fail. One lost all power. Another turned its weapons on its own fleet. Third ship exploded from the inside without being touched. The Zoroth. Fleet scattered in fear, and the object kept moving, straight toward the capital planet, Zoroth Prime. Panic spread across the Empire. Billions watched the news broadcasts. Some said it was a superweapon, others said it was a ghost ship. Some called it a trick, a bluff, but no one could stop it. The object ignored gravity mines. It floated through asteroid fields. Nothing could slow it down. The Zoroth sent messages to Earth. No answer. They offered peace. Silence. They offered surrender. Silence. They begged. Silence. The object kept coming. In a hidden lab on Zoroth Prime, an old alien named Dr. Kellner studied human history. He had once warned the Council that Earth was not what it seemed. They are not weak, he had said. They are hiding. Now the Council called him back. What is it, Kellner? One of the counselors asked. What did the humans send? Kellner looked pale. He opened an old file on his screen. It showed images of ancient Earth records, files marked top secret. Long ago, Kellner said, there was a human project, a secret one. Built in silence, trained in shadows. A weapon. Never meant to be used. He pointed at the screen. It was called Project Ghostblade. The Council stared. Just one ship, one pilot. Built not to destroy fleets, but to destroy empires. The room went quiet. They kept it hidden, even from their own people. And now, they've sent it. Why now? Another counselor asked. Kellner looked at the stars on the screen. Because we pushed them. We took too many. We broke their patience. On the edge of the system, the object entered Zoroth Prime's outer defense zone. Satellites exploded. Missiles launched on their own. The skies grew dark. And still, it came. No shields, no response. Just silence. But in that silence, there was fear. Zoroth cities went into lockdown. Ships fled the planet. The military tried to prepare, but their systems failed one by one. Inside the object, a single figure sat in the cockpit. Calm. Eyes closed. His name was Commander Rian Cross, the first and last pilot of Project Ghostblade. He whispered one sentence. Let them remember what fear feels like. And the stars behind him burned. The Zoroth Dominion was in full panic. Across the Empire, news spread fast. One ship was destroying everything in its path. No missiles, no lasers, no visible weapons. But wherever it passed, things stopped working. Ships vanished. Defenses died. Planets went dark, and the object still didn't stop. It was silent. Unmarked. Cold. That had no name. The Zoroth High Council met again in emergency session. They were no longer laughing. Their war fleets had failed. Their systems were failing. One counselor whispered what no one else dared to say. It's already inside the system. And it was true. The object, still moving at a steady, slow pace, was now within the Zoroth Prime defense zone. It was only days away from the capital planet. The Zoroth had always believed no enemy could reach their home world. They were wrong. Zoroth Prime skies were filled with defense ships, hundreds of them. Fighters, bombers, cruisers. Automated drones circled the orbit like angry bees. All pointed at one ship. The object. Black. Silent. Unknown. The Zoroth gave it a name. The Ghost. They didn't know what else to call it. It didn't appear on radar. Their sensors saw it for seconds, then lost it again. It wasn't invisible. It just didn't follow the rules of physics. It moved without engines. It didn't reflect light. It made no sound. Worse, it didn't answer. The Ghost ignored all hails. It didn't slow down. It didn't speak. It just moved. One Zoroth Admiral Yartno ordered a full scan from a long-range dreadnought. He believed the ship must have a weakness. The scan was sent, and something strange happened. The scanning ship ZS-BR, AKK, and dash froze. Every screen went black. The crew tried to reboot. Nothing worked. Lights blinked. Oxygen levels dropped. Doors locked. Then a voice came from the speakers. But it was not Zoroth language. It was human. One sentence. You shouldn't have looked. And then the bracken vanished from orbit. No explosion. No trace. The entire ship was erased. Millions saw it live on the broadcast. The Zoroth Dominion had lost their biggest ship in 1 second. To one enemy. One ship. The Ghost. Panic spread again. Civilian ships ran from Zoroth Prime. Families left cities. Some even tried to contact Earth, begging for answers. Earth said nothing. The Ghost moved on. It passed through asteroid fields. It passed through mine zones. It passed through energy nets. Nothing touched it. Every time a weapon was fired, it either missed or turned back on the attacker. It was as if space itself protected the Ghost. The Zoroth defense minister ordered all ships to fall back. No one wanted to die. No one wanted to be next. That's when they noticed something else. The Ghost wasn't alone. It was sending out shadow signals, small pulses of unknown energy. Not messages, not attacks, just echoes. They traveled fast across space, jumping from satellite to satellite. One Zoroth scientist warned, "It's scanning our systems. It knows our weapons. It's learning everything." Another said, "No, it's not learning. It already knows. It's just watching." Zoroth leaders were terrified. Who built this ship? Why did humans never use it before? Why only one? In a secret underground room on Zoroth Prime, Dr. Kellner continued his research. He had studied Earth for decades. The council thought he was a fool. Now they listened carefully. "There's something I never told you," Kellner said. "Something I found years ago." He placed an old recording on the table. The footage was grainy, human-made. It showed Earth scientists talking about a hidden project. They called it Black Level, a level of technology forbidden even on Earth. Too dangerous. Too unstable. Too powerful. Ghostblade, Kellner said. It was never meant to be part of any war. It was built for one purpose: to destroy empires. The council looked at each other. But how? What power is this? One asked. Kellnar shook his head. "We don't know. No one does. Their science is different. They studied things we still call myths. They worked with gravity, time, quantum fields. They tested weapons that attack the mind, not the body. And this ship, this Ghost, it's not just a machine." Kellner looked at the dark screen. "It's a warning." Back in space, the Ghost continued its approach. All around it, ships backed away. One Zoroth captain, young and proud, refused. Captain Yarek ordered his cruiser, Zeus Fireclaw, to engage. His crew begged him to stop. He didn't listen. "We are Zoroth," he shouted. "One human ship cannot scare us." He fired the cruiser's full arsenal: plasma cannons, torpedoes, ion bursts. All aimed at the Ghost. And yet, nothing hit. The torpedoes froze mid-space. The lasers bounced away. The ion burst curved into the Fireclaw's own engines. The cruiser exploded. The Ghost never changed course. Never even moved. It just continued. Unstoppable. Zoroth, the scientists now feared the truth. This was not normal human technology. It was something else. Something older. Something alien. Yes, it was human-made. But it used forces even the humans didn't fully control. And inside the ship sat Commander Rian Cross, the last soldier of Earth's final defense program. He sat alone in a cold black chamber. No lights, no sound. He didn't move. He didn't eat. The ship took care of everything. His mission was simple: end the war before it begins. He had been trained since he was a child. His mind was linked to the ship. He didn't need buttons. He didn't need weapons. His thoughts controlled everything. The Ghost was not a ship. It was an extension of his mind. He felt the fear. Across Zoroth systems, he saw every transmission. He heard every scream. He didn't enjoy it, but he didn't stop. He remembered Earth's last meeting. The Zoroth had raided a human science station on Europa. They said it was an accident, but they killed 78 people, scientists. Children. Earth sent a message. This is your first and last warning. The Zoroth laughed. Now they weren't laughing. Rian Cross opened his eyes. Just once, he whispered. Almost there. Zoroth Prime was only hours away. The Zoroth Dominion no longer looked strong. They had sent hundreds of ships. They had fired every kind of weapon. They had begged, threatened, run, but the human ship still came. One ship. Silent, slow, unstoppable. The alien empire had ruled for centuries. They thought humans were weak, soft, and slow to grow. Earth had no colonies, no wars, no grand fleets. But now, Zoroth was on its knees because of one human and one ship. They called it the Ghost. But that was not its real name. In a dark research chamber far below the surface of Zoroth Prime, Dr. Kellner stared at his old files. He had spent most of his life studying human history, while others laughed at him. Now no one was laughing. He called the High Council into his lab. I have found the truth, he said, and it will frighten you. The room was silent. On the screen, he opened a file marked in red. Project Ghostblade Level 10 Earthsealasa Sci-Fi ED. The alien leaders looked confused. One asked, why does this one ship exist? Another asked. Kelnar took a breath. Then he began to speak. Many years ago, before Zoroth even knew humans existed, Earth was already changing. They were not the most advanced species. They did not have powerful ships, but they had something else. He pointed at the screen. Fear and imagination. The screen showed images from Earth's past wars. Destruction, nuclear bombs, space tests. Humans lived through many wars. They destroyed their own cities. They built weapons that could end all life on Earth. But instead of using them, they hid them. They learned from their pain. The room watched in silence. Over time, humans feared one thing more than death, being attacked by someone stronger. He showed more images. Zoroth scouts attacking human colonies. Peaceful stations burning, human ships falling. The humans never forgot these attacks, Kellner said. And they built something in secret, not to start a war. He paused, but to end one. He showed the first diagram of a black ship. Sharp, clean lines, no windows, no engines. It looked exactly like the Ghost. This is Project Ghostblade, he said. A ship built by Earth's last secret military alliance. The Zoroth leaders looked shocked. You mean all of Earth worked on this? Yes, Kellner said. All their nations, all their minds, all working together on one plan. Build a weapon that can win any war before it starts. But where is the fleet? A counselor asked. There's no fleet, Kellner answered. That's the point. The Ghostblade is a one-ship weapon. No armies, no backup. No need. The screen changed again. It showed the training room deep beneath. Earth's surface. Children in black uniforms. One boy stood alone. His name, Rian Cross. Kellner's voice became quiet. He was chosen as a child. Tested for intelligence, emotion, control. Trained to use not just machines, but thought itself. What does that mean? Someone asked. Kellner looked at them. The Ghostblade does not run on normal engines. It runs on the pilot's mind. The ship is alive in a way. It links to one person only. That person becomes the ship. The Zoroth leaders felt cold. A living weapon? Yes, Kellner said. And it cannot be copied. It cannot be stolen. If someone else tries to use the ship, it destroys itself. So, what can it do? The defense minister asked. Kellner didn't answer with words. He changed the screen again. This time it showed the destruction of 3 Zoroth ships. Ziva Rock, ZS Bracken, ZS-Fireclaw. The files were marked. Ghostblade field test. Those ships didn't vanish, Kellner said. They were erased. How? Someone asked. The ship uses gravity fields, time pulses, and quantum disruption. Your sensors can't see it because it doesn't exist in your reality all the time. It moves between moments, between thoughts. That's impossible, the counselor shouted. Kelna. I looked him in the eye. Is it? The room went silent again. Outside in orbit, the Ghostblade continued its approach. It was now less than a day away from Zorath Prime. Defense systems were failing. No one dared attack it anymore. The Ghostblade did not speak, but Rian Cross could hear everything. Inside the black chamber of the ship, he sat with eyes closed, heart steady. His thoughts were linked to every machine in the ship. He could feel space itself move around him. He saw the fear spreading. He heard Zorath families praying. He watched soldiers cry. He did not smile. He did not feel hate. But he did not stop. He remembered the day he was chosen. At 10 years old, he was taken from his family, given food, training, silence, taught to control fear, to think without anger, to act without emotion. They told him one thing again and again: you are the blade. You are the ghost. You are the last line. He trained in virtual wars. He flew ships with his mind. He learned how to use sound, light, gravity, even thought itself to defeat enemies. He passed every test, and when he turned 22, the Ghostblade ship accepted him. No one else could even touch it. The ship had waited 10 years in silence, refusing all pilots, until Rian Cross stood before it. And the ship opened. Now, 10 years later, the galaxy was watching. One human. One ship. A weapon built not to fight, but to end fighting. The Zorath High Council met again. They were divided. Some wanted to surrender. Some wanted to keep fighting. Others wanted to run. What do we do now? The Supreme Leader asked. Kelnar spoke. You make a choice, he said. You either end your empire with dignity, or Ghostblade ends it for you. The room was quiet. Outside, the stars shimmered, and the Ghostblade drew closer. The Ghostblade was now close enough to Zorath Prime that people could see it with their eyes. No telescope, no special tools. Just a dark shape, moving silently across the stars. It didn't shine. It didn't glow. It floated like a shadow, like death itself had taken form. But inside that shadow, a man sat still. His name was Rian Cross. He did not sleep. He did not move. He had not spoken in over 30 hours. And yet, he was fully awake. His eyes were open, but he wasn't looking at the walls. He was looking at space itself, through the ship's systems, through sensors, through dimensions humans couldn't explain with words. The Ghostblade was more than a ship. It was part of his mind. Its systems were silent to the outside, but inside Rian saw everything. The orbit of Zorath Prime, the location of every warship, the number of citizens watching him from the surface, the leaders arguing underground. He knew the Zorath were afraid. He could feel it. The Ghostblade was made to listen. It could sense heartbeats, brain patterns, energy spikes, even fear. And right now, fear covered the planet like a blanket. Rian took a slow breath. He didn't hate the Zorath. Not even after what they did. Not even after the innocent lives they destroyed. Hate made you sloppy. Rian had no room for emotions, only the mission. One man, one ship, one shot to stop the war. That was the rule of Project Ghostblade. Earth had decided long ago, if war came again, they would not send an army. They would send Rian, and he would not come to negotiate. His Pastrian was chosen when he was 7. He didn't have powers. He didn't come from a special family. He was just calm, too calm. Even when his parents died in an accident, he didn't cry. He just stared. That was what caught the eye of a Ghostblade recruiter. The recruiter watched Rian for weeks. Then, one day, after school, he walked up to him and said, "Do you want to protect the world?" Rian said nothing. The recruiter nodded. Double quotes good. The ones who talk too much are never ready. That night, Rian was taken to a place deep beneath the Earth's surface. No windows, no outside world, only training. Only silence for the next 10 years. He saw no sky. The training. The Ghostblade program was unlike anything else on Earth. There were no drills, no shouting, no medals. Instead, there was meditation. Thought control. Virtual battles so real. They could break a mind, and some minds did break. Of the 50 children chosen for the project, only one remained after 10 years, Rian. Cross, he didn't laugh. He didn't cry. He didn't need comfort or food or entertainment. He just followed the mission. His instructors tried to scare him with simulations, alien attacks, explosions, betrayal. He passed every test without emotion. One day, they finally brought him to the black hangar. Inside it was the Ghostblade. It had been waiting for years. No one had touched it. Engineers failed to open it. Pilots who tried vanished. Some said it was cursed. Some said it was too advanced. But when Rian walked up to the ship, it opened. Silently. Slowly. As if it had been waiting for him. And it had. The moment Rian stepped inside, the ship came alive. Lights blinked. Walls shifted. The systems accepted him. No wires, no controls, no cockpit, only a seat. And silence. Rian sat down. And the ship whispered to him, "Are you ready to end the war before it begins?" He answered, "Yes." Now Rian sat in the same seat. 20 years later, he had not changed much. His face was still calm, his voice still quiet, but his mind was sharp. And now, he was almost at his target. The surface of Zorith Prime glowed below him. Thousands of defense cannons were locked on. Hundreds of fighter ships circled. They still hadn't attacked again, not since the last ships vanished. But Rian knew they were planning something. He felt it. He closed his eyes. He could see their systems. He could hear their codes. He could feel the weak points in their defense grid. They were scrambling everything: signals, weapons, even communications. Still, it wouldn't matter. The Ghostblade didn't work like a normal ship. It didn't use missiles or lasers. It used silence. It used fear. It used the enemy's own systems against them. It was a mirror. It reflected the enemy's hatred back at them. If they attacked, they died. If they ran, they lived. But if they listened, they might learn. The Walkrian stood up. The ship lowered toward the surface. No sound. No light. Just a black shadow moving through the sky. Alarms across Zorith Prime rang loud. People ran for shelter. Children screamed. The sky cameras showed the dark shape hovering just above the main government complex. Then it stopped. And opened. A ramp extended, and from the black belly of the ship, a single figure stepped out. No armor. No helmet. Just a man. Tall, quiet, human. He stepped onto the ground as if he had all the time in the world. No guards dared stop him. No weapons fired. Everything had gone silent. Rian Cross walked forward. His boots clicked on the marble floor of the Zorith Central Plaza. Above him, massive statues of past Zorith generals stared down. Their eyes seemed to follow him. He didn't look up. He just kept walking. Inside the council chamber, the Zorith leaders watched him on screen. "He's alone," someone whispered. "He's unarmed," said another. "No," Kellner said. "He is the weapon." Rian entered the building. Doors opened before him. Security systems shut down one by one. He walked past terrified soldiers. No one dared stop him. The silence was louder than any war drum. He entered the council chamber. 20 Zorith leaders stood. From their seats, they had no words, and Rian had only one: enough. The people of Zorith Prime had never seen a war up close. Their empire ruled over 78 star systems. All battles happened far away on distant planets. The capital was safe, rich, and untouchable. Until now. Now a single human walked through there. Streets. No army. No backup. Just one man, Rian Cross, the pilot of Ghostblade. He was calm, cold, silent. As he stepped through the main plaza of the capital city, every citizen stopped what they were doing. Children looked out windows. Shopkeepers froze mid-sale. Soldiers stood with weapons raised but didn't fire. They had seen what happened to the last ones who tried. Rian's eyes didn't move. His boots echoed against the stone ground. Click, click, click. The sound was the only thing louder than fear. Above the city, the Ghostblade floated above Zorath Prime like a black moon. It didn't shine. It didn't burn. But every radar on the planet screamed warnings. It was messing with gravity, light, heat. Everything. Zorath's satellites spun out of control. Their defense grid shut down one section at a time. Then came something worse. Silence. Every communication system on Zorath. Prime shut down. No calls. No signals. No ships allowed to leave. The planet was completely isolated. And one man had done it. The government collapses inside the main council chamber. Alarms were flashing. Generals shouted. Ministers argued. He's inside the capital. One screamed, "Kill him!" Yelled another, but the supreme leader raised a hand. "Have we tried?" He asked. The room went silent. Everyone knew the answer. They had tried everything. And failed. General whispered, "We don't even know how he's doing this." Then a screen lit up. A video feed. Rian Cross was in the building. Inside the stronghold. Rian didn't need maps. The Ghostblade showed him everything through walls, floors, wires, heat, light. He didn't see like others did. He felt the whole structure. The Empire's secrets flowed into his mind, like water. Security codes, elevator systems. Private meeting rooms. He walked slowly, but he already knew the path. Two guards stood at a doorway, shaking. Rian looked at them. Once. They dropped their weapons. He passed. The guards collapsed to their knees, breathing heavy. "What is he?" One whispered. No fire. No fight. Rian's mission wasn't to kill. That wasn't Ghostblade's design. Its goal was to break the enemy's systems, not their bodies. No need to fire a weapon. No need to raise a hand. The Empire would fall without a war, without a shot, without a scream. And that terrified the Zorath more than death, because it meant they had never been in control. The council season doors opened. Rian stepped into the council chamber. The 20 highest leaders of the Zorath Dominion stood in silence. The supreme leader took one step forward. He tried to speak. Rian raised a hand, and everything stopped. Lights dimmed. Weapons failed. Screens flickered, then died. Rian looked at them all. "You invaded our space," he said softly. "You took our people. You burned our outposts." He took another step forward, and "We asked you to stop." The supreme leader whispered, "We thought you were weak." Rian didn't answer. Instead he said, "Earth is not weak. Earth is patient." The display. Rian looked at the main screen on the wall. He reached into his coat. No gun. No tool. Just a small black cube. He placed it on the table. The cube lit up. Hologram appeared. It showed the entire Zorath Dominion, planet after planet, fleet after fleet. Then red marks started to appear. One by one, systems shut down. Warp gates offline. Resource drones crashed. Power grids melted. Military eye frozen. And then every single fleet lost control. Ships powered down. Engines failed. All across the Empire. Panic spread faster than any message. This is not possible," a general said. "It's already done," Rian replied. How? One of the ministers stepped forward. Her voice shook. "How can you do this? You didn't destroy our ships. You didn't fire anything. How is this happening?" Rian looked at her. "Ghostblade doesn't destroy your systems. It becomes part of them." He pointed at the cube. "Everything you built. Every program, every weapon, every fleet. It's all connected. And now I control it." The council stared. He had turned their own empire against them. Without touching a button. Why not kill us? Another leader spoke up. If you can shut us down, if you can kill us, why haven't you? Rian's voice was calm. Because Earth doesn't want slaves. We don't want your worlds. We don't need revenge. He paused. We want peace. He let that word hang in the air. And now you will give it. One message for the galaxy. Rian walked to the center of the chamber. He pressed the cube. It sent out a single, powerful signal. Not just across Zorath, not just to Earth, but across the entire galaxy. A video played on every ship, every planet, every terminal. A black screen, one voice, Rian Cross. This is Commander Rian Cross of Earth. We sent no army, no fleet. We sent one ship. That was enough. We do not seek war. We do not seek control, but we will not be attacked again. Let this be the last empire that forgets who we are. The signal ended. The cube shut down. The council sat in silence. Rian looked at them. Once more. Then he turned and walked away. The aftermath. He exited the chamber. Outside, the ghost blade floated above the city, waiting. It lowered slowly, like a quiet god returning for its servant. A ramp extended. Rian stepped back aboard. The ship sealed shut. And then, without sound or light, it disappeared. No explosion. No trail. Just gone, like a shadow leaving a frightened room. The galaxy reacts across the stars. Other empires watch. They had heard rumors of Earth. They had mocked its slow growth, its lack of colonies. Its silence. But now they knew. Earth wasn't weak. Earth was watching. Earth had built something, not to rule but to remind. The galaxy had seen many wars. Many species had risen and fallen. Empires were built and crushed, but nothing had ever spread across the stars like this. Not a weapon, not an army, just a message. And it came from a single human. The broadcast across all star systems. Every screen turned black at once. Every transmission stopped. Even systems not connected to Zorath's networks suddenly went quiet. Then a voice, clear, steady, human, spoke. This is Commander Rian Cross of Earth. We sent no army, no fleet. We sent one ship. That was enough. We do not seek war. We do not seek control. But we will not be attacked again. Let this be the last empire that forgets who we are. Then, silence. And the message ended, but it had already reached every species in the known galaxy. Reactions across the stars. On the planet Golar 9, home of the Sekari hive, the queen froze mid-meal. Her workers fell silent. For years, the Sekari had called humans a low-level race. No longer. On the gas world Etrinex, the Tharnak Confederacy shut down their border scans and pulled back their fleets. The council there voted in fear. Earth was now off limits. On the trade moons of Rylos, merchant guilds burned old human trade documents. Suddenly, they wanted peace treaties. They wanted protection. Even the Gravok clans, known for their war chants and blood sport, stopped their fighting rings. The galaxy didn't laugh at humans anymore. Now they whispered. On Earth far away, on a quiet blue planet called Earth. Most people didn't even know what had happened. Their skies were peaceful, their cities calm. But deep under a hidden base, Earth's leaders watched the data come in. The signal had reached over 1,800 species. The reaction was clear. No one wanted to challenge Earth again. A general looked at the silent screen. Well, she said, I guess he did it. A scientist next to her nodded. Double quotes. No shots, no war, just fear. The general smiled slightly. Just Ghostblade. Zorath surrenders on Zorath Prime. The mighty empire that once ruled 78 star systems now sent a message of unconditional surrender. They gave up their fleets. They shut down their war factories. They destroyed their own mind, weapons, but Earth didn't. Reply. Not right away. They didn't need to. Zorath already understood. Kellner's final report. Dr. Kellner, the Zorath scientist who first studied Earth, was given a task. explained what had happened. He sat in front of a camera, his skin pale, his eyes tired. "This is not just about technology," he said. "This is not just about ships or weapons. This is about control." He paused. "Earth controls perception." They knew the galaxy feared power, so they made one weapon, one pilot, one ghost. He looked straight into the camera. "And now, every race will ask, what if they send another?" Commander Rian Kroos, no one knew where he went. The Ghostblade disappeared from Zorith space, and no trace remained. Some said he returned to Earth. Some said he went deeper into space. Others believed he never existed, that Earth had made it all up. But deep in the stars, in the shadow of a dead sun, the Ghostblade floated quiet, resting, hidden. Inside, Rian sat alone. The mission was over, but peace was never permanent. He knew someday someone else might forget, and if they did, he would return. Fear as a weapon across the galaxy. Every military strategist changed their rules. They created files called Ghostblade Protocols. They warned soldiers, never approach a dark ship without ID, never respond to human silence with force, never assume Earth is behind in tech. Always remember, if Earth sends one ship, you've already lost. New treaties within weeks. Empires that once ignored Earth now begged to form alliances. Ambassadors were sent, gifts offered. Earth rejected most of them, but they made one rule clear: no species would ever attack Earth again, or they'd face what Zorith did, and next time, Earth might not be so patient. The memory lives on. Children across the galaxy now played a new game. They wore black uniforms and marched alone. They called themselves Ghostblade. They walked in silence and stared with cold eyes. Even young aliens understood. The strongest weapon isn't fire or steel. It's the one you never see coming. One line on every screen. Every race added one sentence to their survival books: do not provoke the humans. They only send one. The galaxy was silent after the message from Commander Rian Kroos and the Ghostblade's quiet invasion of Zorith Prime. Many species began to question everything they thought they knew about Earth. How had a planet so small, so peaceful, built such a powerful weapon? Why had humans hidden their true strength for so long? And what secrets still waited beneath Earth's calm surface? The lost history deep beneath the Earth's oceans. In a secret bunker buried under miles of rock, a small group of humans worked silently. They were the keepers of Earth's hidden past. Historians, scientists, and military officers gathered around a glowing table. Their leader was Dr. Elena Voss, a woman in her mid-40s with sharp eyes and a quiet voice. She spoke softly. "Our history has been rewritten many times. Earth was never just a peaceful blue planet." She tapped the table. "Long ago, before humans walked the stars, Earth was home to many ancient civilizations, far older and smarter than we believed." The room was silent. The ancient wars. Voss showed images of old ruins deep in jungles, deserts, and under the sea. These civilizations fought wars unlike any in recent history. They built machines powered by the stars themselves. Some of these machines could bend space and time. They could destroy entire cities with a thought. But one day, these great empires fell. Some say they destroyed themselves. Others say something worse forced them into hiding. The secret council, according to ancient texts, after these wars, a secret group of humans formed, the Hidden Council. They believed humanity could not survive another great war. So they swore an oath to hide our power until the galaxy is ready. They destroyed most of their technology. They erased records. They taught the new generations only peace. The birth of Ghostblade. But the Hidden Council knew one day the galaxy would return to war. So they built one weapon, one ship, one pilot, Ghostblade. It was built not just with metal and science, Dr. Voss said, but with memory and promise. The training of Rian Kroos. Voss opened a dusty file. It showed a young boy Rian Cross was chosen because he could control his mind better than anyone else. He was trained to be calm in chaos, to be patient, to be the silent shield of Earth. She looked up, because sometimes the greatest weapon is not a sword or a gun. It's a warning. Why hide? The room grew quieter. One officer asked, "Why hide so long? Why not show the galaxy what Earth can do?" Dr. Vos smiled sadly. Because power without control destroys everything. Because fear can stop war before it starts. Because if the galaxy knew Earth's true strength too soon, they would have attacked first. The future, the Hidden Council's message was clear. Earth was ready, but Earth was patient. The Ghostblade was the key, a weapon to remind the galaxy that peace was worth more than war. The truth about Rian Dr. Voss closed the file on Rian. He is not a soldier. He is a symbol, not just for Earth, but for every species. If the galaxy ever forgets, Ghostblade will return. Outside the bunker above ground, the world seemed calm. Went about their lives, unaware of the ancient wars beneath their feet. But somewhere, deep in space, one ship waited. Silent, watching, waiting. The galaxy had changed forever. No one forgot what happened. No one dared to forget. The message from Earth echoed in every mind, every system, every star. Do not provoke the humans. They only send one. A new era across the stars. Empires paused. They rebuilt their fleets, but with caution. They made treaties, but with respect. They sent ambassadors, but with humility. Because Earth was no longer a mystery. Earth was a warning. The Council of Worlds of New Gathering formed the Council of Worlds. It included many species, Zorath, Sukkari, Tharnuk, Gravok, and even humans. Together, they created rules to keep peace. No wars without reason. No attacks without warning. No secrets hidden from the Council. Rian Cross returns. Few had seen him since the Ghostblade vanished. But then, one day, a black ship appeared above Earth. It was the Ghostblade. And from it stepped a man, calm, quiet, unbroken. Commander Rian Cross. He spoke to the Council. Peace is not weakness. Peace is strength. But strength must be remembered. Earth promised to protect itself. Earth promised to defend others. Earth promised to never forget the lessons of its past. And the galaxy promised to listen. A silent guardian, the Ghostblade became a symbol. Not a weapon of war, but a shield of peace. It flew quietly across the stars. Watching, waiting. The legacy children on Earth and across the galaxy learned the story. How one man and one ship changed everything. How patience, courage, and silence won wars. How humans taught the galaxy to respect peace. Final words the galaxy remembers, and it never forgets. Because sometimes, the greatest power is not in armies or weapons, but in the quiet strength of one ship. One human. One warning. The end.